Okay, let's see if we can figure this out. Already got an issue here. Okay. All right. I'm here. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Can you hear me? Because I forgot to check. Yes, I think you can hear me. Okay, I see the little indicator. We got a little light going on the little microphone here. Okay, so it's been a while since I've been live. So if you're here, say hello. And I am using a different live streaming platform today that I am still getting used to, still learning, still figuring out. It is EVMux. So that's what we're using today, EVMUX. Jennifer from the Creator Classroom said that my partner link is not working. It's not fully clickable. So I'll try to fix that. I'll try to put a comment here, but I do have a partner code with EVMux. So yeah, so just trying it out, right? It's definitely a very similar platform to StreamYard. Those of you that use StreamYard or have used StreamYard or whatever, it's very similar but different. Honestly. So I'm still getting used to it. I just haven't had a lot of bandwidth to play around with it, to be totally honest with you. And much like anything, you have to kind of play around with it to get to know it. It's very similar, like I said, to StreamYard, but it is very different. It utilizes some different features, different technology, different capabilities that I'm just simply not used to. It's that simple. Where did my water go? Oh, see, I got all my crap everywhere. I got it everywhere. It's been a month. Let's just say it's been a month. So Marianne is here. Hello, Marianne. Great to see you here live. And I see my friend James is hanging out with us as well. So good to see you, James, as well. Now, one thing I do like about this is cool. So one thing I like about EVMux is that I can display a comment, and in the settings, you also have more controls. You have more opportunities, I'll say, to add some different features. You can use them, you don't have to use them, and that's one thing that's pretty cool. But one of the things that I've got on my one thing that tells me is how long ago a comment was displayed, which is really cool. But one thing, I'm leaving James's hello sign up there for a while, because one of the things I did enable is there's a feature where you can actually have a comment go away. Oh, there it went. I didn't do anything. So I have it set to like 45 seconds, I think, because, as you know, sometimes when you're live and you're talking to your audience, sometimes you're, you forget that you have a comment displayed. And so, especially if you're, doing other things, and I have definitely done that before, where I'm like, oh, I forgot that comment's there. Now I have noticed, I know that this is a feature in Ecamm, because I see a lot of my friends who use Ecamm. You can tell that they use this feature because the comment will be up. They're still talking about it in like 10 seconds, it's gone. I think it should be up a little longer than that. So I did 45 seconds because I think 45 seconds is plenty of time if you want to address somebody's comment and talk through it, especially if you need to talk about a few things or it's a question you're answering. But at the same time, you want it up, but you don't want it to be up forever. You want to get your real estate back, if you will. So I set it to 45 seconds and it went away. That's very cool. So I like that feature. You don't have to use it. You can turn it off and all that stuff. So Jennifer says, I could not figure out how to do 2 guests, me and a guest, and share a screen. Yeah. So again, I have definitely not done enough with it. I have only done a little bit. So basically you have dynamic scenes and then you have pro scenes. And so pro scenes, you do have to be on a paid plan to utilize. Those are really just they're just custom scenes, but you can customize them far more than you could customize your custom layouts in StreamYard at this time. Now, StreamYard is going to be releasing scenes soon. So that's coming. I am supposed to play with it. I have yet to have a chance. I have early access to the beta version. I haven't dabbled with it yet, to be totally honest with you. It's been kind of busy this month. I just haven't had a chance. But anyways, yeah, so I wanted to I won't spend too much time talking about the whole EVMux thing. If you have questions, put them in there. I mean, you can definitely post questions for me today. I'm going to be live here for a little while. But I just wanted to come live. One, I wanted to utilize the platform because I need to be utilizing EVMux because I do think it's a very strong platform. The last time I tried to use it was the last time I was live, I believe, on my channel. And I had all kinds of tech issues. I definitely have some tech gremlins going on with my setup right now. So I'm only utilizing one camera right now. In fact, my microphone either I think my cable's going bad or something because sometimes I'll be on a Teams call and my mic goes in and out. I mean, I got all kinds of problems. So I actually probably I'm due for what I like to call you just dismantle everything and then you reinstall everything. Because I play around with different things so much that I tend to accidentally break things. And so I'm actually going to okay, so this is something interesting. So I totally just interrupted myself. Let me finish my thought really quick. So I 100% uh need to dismantle and then reinstall because since I do dabble with so much gear and tech sometimes you can sort of break things. And so the last time I was live it was really interesting because um I had a camera glitch happening where my camera was basically timing out after maybe 20 minutes or so, and I had been having this happen on Teams calls and other things. I'm like, "What is going on?" Like, I thought maybe I accidentally enabled a setting for the camera to, go off, if you will. So, it wasn't that. I think that I discovered is I thought I had it I do have it sitting here. What I discovered is that because I started using a different capture card. I started using the Elgato. Basically, this is like a pass-through capture card. You're supposed to use this. This is a popular device for gamers or people who are actually hooking up another computer and they want to display the screen from another device, like an Xbox or something, or even another computer. But you can also use it as a camera capture card as well. It basically works the same way that an Elgato Camlink would. And I wanted to have two 4K. I wanted to have the ability to have two 4K signals from cameras. And so, but I didn't want to have the Rode Streamer X because it's kind of large on the desk. And I'm trying to keep it simple. So I was trying that and it worked fine when I was first using it. But now it's strange. I think it's that device. So I'm not utilizing that device right now. My second camera is hooked up to it, but I don't even know why because I'm not using it. So, anyways, we're back to the good old classic Elgato 4K Cam Link, which is hooked into the computer. But my point is that I think I'm long overdue to strip everything down and just reinstall, just reconfigure the hardware, the wires. And I've been kind of like putting that off because it's a pain in the butt. I mean, it's just a pain in the butt process. So is learning a new platform, to be honest with you. So kind of just one of those things. So I need to also get my lights fixed up a little bit because I used the lights. Oh, I got some flyaways going on over here with my hair today. The lights I use outside the house. So these lights that I use are actually intended to be used as floodlights on for your house, for your landscaping or to shine up on your house. So at Halloween, I actually used these lights and I lit up our whole house and it was purple and it was so freaking cool. It was so awesome. So I haven't really like I've got a little bit of a hot thing going on over here, so got to fix that up too, but who cares? It's fine. Jennifer says your setup looks great. I appreciate it. So Jennifer says I need that to be faster, that comment display. I think I can adjust that too. She said, "Well, I'm getting a separation from StreamYard." Yeah. Listen, StreamYard, I don't know what they're doing over there. I mean, listen, I think the platform's still great. I think this platform's great. They're different. They both, I think, have different objectives and goals for their platforms. I have talked to the product development person at StreamYard ever since they took over ownership. I'll be honest. I mean, I think that the platform is still going to be fantastic. I think it's still going to be great. I personally still think it's one of the most user intuitive platforms. However, they are raising their prices and there are some communication challenges, in my opinion, going on. I think they'll get it figured out. Who knows? But I was kind of ready to start exploring different options anyway, because I just want to be able to do that. So I'm very excited about the opportunities and the capabilities in the future of EV Mux. And so I want to use it. I will be streaming with this platform for now, just trying to get used to it and stuff. I have talked to one of the co-owners, and he is fantastic. We have Slack communications. I really enjoy talking to him. Think that he appreciates feedback on the platform, which I think is great because, if you provide feedback on something, you want it to be taken into consideration. So I think that they have a really cool thing going, and I'm excited about the future of this platform for sure. And I don't know, maybe I'll be helping them with some content on their channel too in the future. We are definitely talking about it. It'd be great to make that work. We'll see what happens. So you never know. Maybe I'll end up over on the EV Mux YouTube channel. So if you do want to learn EV Mux, I will say they have a lot of really good videos on their YouTube channel. So go check that out, and you can kind of see what it's like and see the differences. I think Kirk Nugent also just did a pretty good video on his channel where he basically is like, are you moving from StreamYard over to EV Mux? Here's probably what you need to know. So he sort of does a little bit of a comparison. It's not super detailed, but it's pretty good. It's a great way to get started with this. So go check those things out. So that's probably really mostly what I'll be saying about EV Mux right now. And we'll move on because I do want to tell you guys, the main thing I wanted to talk to you guys about today is I got hacked on Facebook. And I am still hacked on Facebook. So if you are friends with me or if we're connected over on Facebook, no, I have not become a certified cryptocurrency person. I am not helping people get out of debt with crypto. That is what the hackers are posting on my profile. So report the posts if you want. People are reporting them. Facebook is essentially saying there's nothing wrong with those posts, but there definitely is. I mean, I don't know what's going on over there. So, but anyway, but I'm going to talk to you about that again. Jennifer said, I won't try to message you again. Yeah, I can't, I'm not in any of that. So even my business page, I can't access right now. So, yeah, I can't get to any of it. It's painful. It's painful. It's been since November 12th. That is when I got hacked. So yeah, Jennifer says, my separation is due to lack of support in the price situation. She said hers stayed the same. I've had a video call with Davide and Michelle and nothing improved. Yeah, interesting. I'm glad that you had a video call with them. I mean, I do not know what their plans are. I do not know if they plan to go back with a price reduction because they increased the prices. It is my understanding that if you throw a fit, I think that they will negotiate with you, which is not sustainable, of course. I don't know. I saw somebody post something about that. I have no idea. They've not said that to me. I've not had any conversations with them, but I've seen a couple of people post that they threw a fit and they gave them their price back. So, and it could also depend on the actual plan you're on. So it could be that too. Nothing like cold coffee, some cold coffee. So yeah, okay. So here is the deal. Oh, Tish is here. Hi, Tish. Good to see you. She said, I wish you the best with dealing with Facebook. Listen, if anybody knows anybody at Facebook, let me know. Seriously, because I'm going to tell you right now, it is not a good situation. Also, I saw that James had a question. I want to make sure I go back to that. Oh, good question. So here's one thing that's interesting. I starred your question, James, in the feed. Oh, no, that's not it. Again, I'm still getting used to the studio here, the EV Mux studio. I starred your question, but I see nowhere that I access starred comments, which is a little weird. But yeah, anyway. So we were talking about gear. I was talking about how I'm always playing with stuff. He says, are you still using the Beacon gear or did you switch to Elgato? So you know what? So he's talking about the Beacon Mix Create. It is sitting on a shelf. I can see it from here, sitting right next to my Blue Yeti microphone. That's just kind of like a little bit of a display thing. No, I haven't used it for quite some time. I love that little device. I like the way it feels. I like it a lot. I like the screen on it. I had a lot of issues with the software, the companion software that goes with it. So basically what the Beacon Mix Create is, it's essentially a audio mixer, very much like your the software that comes with your Elgato products. I love that. I love how that comment goes away automatically. I love that. So it's a virtual audio mixer that comes with hardware. So when Elgato came out with Wavelink, the Wavelink software, which if you use any of their audio equipment, the microphones, the like the Elgato Wave 3 or uh, the Wave XLR that they have. Is that what it's called? I can't remember. But anyway, the XLR interface, if you use that, or if you have a Stream Deck Plus, then you get this companion software automatically, and it's free. And essentially, it's a virtual, or it's an audio mixer, but it uses software to do it instead of hardware like we used to have to do with, Rodecaster Pro and whatnot. So the Beacon Mix Create is a competitor product to the Elgato Stream Deck Plus. So the Stream Deck Plus came out, and it is basically has knobs on it. My extra one's over there, so I can't show it to you. But, it lets you control the audio with the knobs versus the mouse, which before you could only control the audio in the Wavelink software with you had to use your mouse. And so you had to do it on the screen. The Beacon Mix Create basically was the exact same type of software, a little bit better in some ways, in my opinion, except it came with this piece of hardware. I love that piece. I loved it, but I had a lot of problems with the software. There were a lot of bugs. There were some issues. I even had to do their support was fantastic. Like, it was on Discord. I literally had a chat with one of the people, and I had to, for some reason on my system, and he said certain systems, we had to manually update our software all the time. And I just got to the point where I kind of just, once the Stream Deck Plus came out, I just felt like I had too much going on. The issue with that as well is that in order for me to have that device plus my Stream Deck or whatever, and my Wave XLR or my Wavelink, or my Elgato Wave 3 microphone, I had all these audio inputs. So I literally had all these Beacon audio inputs. I had all these Wavelink audio inputs, and my computer just was always confused. And it was like every time I went to a Teams meeting or something else, it was like trying to figure out what mic to select. And it had all these audio inputs, and it just became very painful. So no, to answer your question very long-windedly, I am not using that device, but I've thought about it. Busting it back out. So TA Tech is here. What's up? Good to see you. Good to see you here live with us. I like that logo you got there. That's fun. That's pretty cool. So, okay, let's talk about the hacking situation, because that was the main thing I wanted to talk to you guys about. And if you have questions for me, put a Q in front of it for me. I'm not going to start because I can't figure out where the start questions are. I got to figure that out. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. I'm just clicking around, still trying to figure it out, but it's all good. So here's the deal. On November 12th, I woke up at I don't know, 6 a.m. or something. And I pulled my phone out and I was looking at my email, and I had an email that basically said, someone's trying, did you access Facebook from blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, that wasn't me. And so I started, I was like, oh boy, this sucks. Somebody's trying to get in my Facebook. And I'm thinking, well, they can't, because just because they're trying to access it doesn't mean they're in there. So I did the thing, you get an email from Facebook and it says, not me. No, that wasn't me. Or it says, this was me. And I said, no, this wasn't me. And then I don't really remember. I'm like half awake. And there was a series of additional emails. It kept happening. And I'm like, dang, somebody's really, and then next thing I know, my email, I realized somehow my email has been hacked, and they are definitely related. And I immediately am like, oh crap. So I get up, I changed my password for Facebook. I changed my password because they had gotten into my Facebook. So I get in there quickly, change my password. I think, okay, good, they're out. Then I go change my password for my email, but did I change? Okay. So the reason I realized the email was a problem, because I got in Facebook, they got in, and then I got back in. I'm like, what the heck? Then I realized my email was hacked. So I quickly go to my email. Okay. So I am doing this as fast as I can. I go to my email and I immediately turn on two-factor authentication. It was not on for my personal email. Now it's on for my work email. It's on for my JOB email. It's on for my own Mel Diane email. It was not on for my, James is going to make fun of me, and some of you are going to make fun of me. It was not on for my Hotmail. Hotmail is just Outlook. It's whatever. I've had Hotmail forever. Why change it? I know it's dorky and old, but it is what it is. So anyway, I did not have it on for that. So I go in, I change my email, my password, and I turn on two-factor authentication. While I am doing this, they have gone in, they have deleted my inbox. they have deleted my deleted, and they have deleted my sent folder. Now, they did not get into anything else from what I can tell. I think they probably were going after it all, and it like it literally, I'm pretty sure that they were going to do more, but I'm like, why do they care about that? They deleted the Facebook emails. I mean, they were in there, they deleted everything. Now, something with Microsoft, there I am able to get to those emails. I'm able to recover them, but it's literally like 5,500 emails because it's all my deleted. So everything's all in one folder together now. All these old sents, all these old emails in my inbox, and all of the deleted. So junk mail and stuff. So I am like finding stuff. Like I have found some things like, oh, yep, recover that, recover that, recover that, recover that. But I did find some of the Facebook emails and I put them in a folder. I was able to do that because I think part of that is so that you can't prove that that was your email. I don't know. I don't know what their objective is, but here's the deal. So this happens. While this has happened, I then go to Facebook and I go in, I'm able to get back into my account again. They have gotten in there, I think, twice at this point, and I've gotten back in, changed the password, and I turned on two-factor authentication with Facebook, okay? So what I did was I downloaded the Duo mobile app, which is an authenticator app, and that is what I use. If you have not done this, I want you to promise me you're going to figure it out and do it today. So Google it, figure it out. You need to download. There's a couple of options for you. I just personally chose the Duo mobile app. You need to do this for your Instagram and your Facebook. You need to do it everywhere. Two-factor authentication needs to be turned on everywhere. And here's the deal. By the time I get back to my Facebook account, they have gone in there. At this point, I turn on two-factor authentication. They still got in. They changed the contact information. So I'm like, okay, I got hacked. So send me the email. So I click, send me the email, change password, email me. It's a different email. So it literally it starts out most of the email. So it shows you the first letter, the last letter, and then it said at Hotmail. They actually used a Hotmail, which is weird. But it was like A and then like stars and N at Hotmail. And I'm like, that is not my email. So they got in, they changed the contact information, including the phone number. And so therefore, I'm not able to get the links that Facebook sends you for you to get back in and change your password. This is what they do. So again, if you get hacked, they likely are going to do this. Now, I then was able to go through a process where I was able to prove my identity. I will tell you right now, I pray to God that it was the right thing. But I'm going to tell you right now, I immediately start trying to figure this out. Facebook's process when this happens is ridiculously terrible. It just sends you through this terrible cycle. So if they change your email, you are in deep trouble. It is the next steps are extremely difficult. And so it just sends you through the cycle. It's awful. And then it says things like log in on a device you've been logged in on before. Well, I was. So they basically went in and they cleared the devices out of the account. They basically deactivated any devices. And so I'm like, I can't get back into my Facebook. So this goes on for a few hours. This is like hours go by and I am like, this sucks. And they had changed my profile picture, which is how I knew I got hacked again, because I was in there. I was like, okay, I'm good. And then I immediately start getting text messages from a lot of my very close friends, because the other part of this, not really going to get into this, but life update. I am basically going through a divorce. I am not married, but we own a house together and we've been together for over 7 years. So it's very much just like going through a divorce. And the hacker changed my profile picture to a picture of me and my ex. And my friends were like, what the F is going on? Because there are lots of reasons why that ain't happening. That is not happening. That ship has sailed. That's not happening. So they were literally like, what is going on? Like, do I need to come over there and tie you up and lock you in a cage? And I was like, no, you don't. The hackers have changed profile picture. So that was annoying. So I got back in and I was able to change the profile picture back. I made a post and said, guys, I got hacked, blah, 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 whatever. Well, they got back in again. And I am like, how are they getting back into my account? But let me tell you a little bit of the story in between, because I'm explaining this to you because this very much could happen to you, and it is happening all over the place. Okay? And real quick, yeah, interesting. James says, I think I hit you up early too because my emails to you started bouncing. Yeah, I don't know. So I do, James, you might be sending it to my old email that is no longer active, but text me. We'll figure that out. So anyway, so yes, exactly. I mean, I was just like, God, really? Like, come on. So anyway, by the way, James posted a link for y'all, for you guys to go do this. So make sure you do this today. Make sure you turn on two-factor authentication if you have not already. Okay. So please. So here's the deal. Here's what happened next. So I got my email got taken care of. I straightened that out. Two-factor authentication. They were no longer able to get back in there. I don't know how they got in my email, honestly. I'm still a little bit nervous about that. So I still got to kind of make sure I figure that out. So, okay. So here's the deal. I basically got back in, they get back in. And I'm like, how are they getting back in? I have two-factor authentication turned on. And, I was able to go through this process where you go to facebook.com/hacked, and it only works if you're on a device that you've been logged into before. When I first was trying in the morning, it wasn't working. In fact, it was telling me you need to use a device you've been logged in on. I'm like, I am. At this point, I'm literally like losing hope. I'm like, this is ridiculous. So I start Googling this. I'm like on Reddit forums. I actually Google Facebook support. And I will tell you right now, another issue is that what I don't understand, if you Google Facebook support, you will find scammers. There is no phone number for Facebook support, but you will find phone numbers that claim they're Facebook support. And in my haste and in my freak out, I am freaking out, trying to get this figured out. I am like frantic. And so I'm like, oh, thank God, phone number, sweet, customer service. I'm probably going to be on hold for 3 hours, whatever. I call and it goes to a thing, it answers, someone gets on the phone with me, I explain my situation, and they start helping me. And they're like, okay, here's what we need to do, blah, 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 blah. You guys, I am really tech savvy. I don't fall for these things. Never do I. I just had this conversation with a friend. Her husband basically got scammed and he fell for it. And she's like, we can't even, like, it's like they're so good at manipulating you and they get you in the moment. And I was frantic and I was desperate. And I'm like trying to do this as fast as possible because I know that time is of the essence, because the longer they have, the more damage they can do. And the more they can lock you out. They can get in there and do what they were doing. And I'm just like trying quickly to get this figured out. And I'm also just not in a good headspace, quite frankly, at the time. I mean, literally, it is less than a week after I discovered all the terrible things I discovered and, ended the relationship. And so it's like, I'm not in a good headspace as it is. I call this number. It was a scam. And here's the thing that's terrible. It was an ad. It actually was an ad on Google. So Google is letting scammers pay them for ads and they're presenting it. It's a mess. This thing's a mess. There are messes everywhere. Cybersecurity is huge. It's a problem. It's seriously massive. It's a big deal. By the way, the people were located in Singapore. This is where this was all happening from, because the emails I was getting from Facebook was like, did you just log in to Facebook? Or somebody's trying to log into your account from Singapore. And I'm like, definitely not in Singapore. So anyway, I get on this phone call and they're like doing this thing. They're like, okay, here's what you got to do. We need you to access the back end server, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like going through these motions. Next thing I realize, I'm like, wait a freaking minute. Hell no. They're having me screen record my phone. And I'm like, nope. So I get off the phone, delete the app, the thing they had me download. So as of right now, I don't think there's any problems with my phone. I don't think that I think I caught that fast enough. I hope I did. So not only am I hacked by somebody, now I have called a spam or a scammer phone number, a con artist who is getting ready to do God knows what if with my information. And so I am just like, are you kidding me right now? It was terrible. It was awful. So then one of my friends is like, hey, I heard that if you go to facebook.com/hacked, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, I tried that. And it didn't work. It told me I had to be on a device. I just was like, I'll try it again. So I try it. All of a sudden, it's working. It's letting me go through the prompts. And one of those prompts was I had to prove my identity. And I'm saying this out loud because I still actually need to go research this. I read on a lot of Reddit forums that this is legit, that I had to basically present proof of identity. So I used my ID. And once I did that, then Facebook said you need to use, you need to provide a new email, blah, blah, blah. So I did. I provided a separate email that I hadn't used before. And it gave me, it went through the prompts. I got back into my account. And I was like, okay, thank God. But at this point, I'm like, okay, I need to figure out what the hell is going on. So I get in there. They had disconnected my Instagram. Thank God they did that, because I was worried. I was literally like, they're gonna get into my Instagram. They're gonna take over my Instagram too. They disconnected it because they wanted to connect a different Instagram account, and it was some rogue Chinese account. So I get in there, I disconnect that. I go to logged in devices. There's one in like Iowa, I think. I don't remember. And I'm like, that's not me. So I try to disconnect that, and it goes to some thing to basically I have to provide the password or something. And I'm like, or I had to do, I don't remember. I had to do something. And I'm like, I can't. It won't let, like, I don't have the, it's like, it said something like, we're sending you an email. And it was a different email. And I'm like, what the hell? So I couldn't log out of that device. It was really strange. So then I'm in there and I'm like, okay, I'm in. And I recognize and I see, no, it wasn't right away. I'm at dinner with Addie, and all of a sudden I get the email and I'm like, shit, they got in again. So basically at this point, it was very strange. Facebook attached my email address. So when you go to say forget password, there were 2 emails represented, and my email was there. I had to provide a new email though. So I had to keep changing the email. It was really odd what it was making me do. So I basically had 2 emails, and it was making me change back and forth, because this was how I was getting back in to my account. But every time I got back in, sometimes it was hours later they'd get back in. Sometimes it was right away. And I'm like, they keep getting back in. How are they getting back in? Like, what is happening? At this point, I'm thinking my phone is hacked. Like, I am just like, I don't know what to do. This is story time with Mel today, by the way. So hopefully you're hanging in there. Hi, Lawrence. I see you, or whoever, Park Bros. Yeah. No, I think it's Lawrence watching there. But so at this point, it's in the evening. This all started, if you remember, at 6 a.m. on the 12th. I'm at dinner. I get home from dinner. Why did my camera do that? So now I think it's the camera. Okay, this is ridiculous. All right, guys, I'm gonna come back. I promise I'm gonna be back. Why is it doing this to me? You guys can still hear me, right? Yeah, you can still hear me. Okay, hold on. How it all happened. I love that. Okay, let's see if that turns it back on. So I thought this whole time that the issue was my, this whole time I've been thinking that the issue was the Elgato thing, but it's not. I don't know what's happening. So it's got to be a setting on the camera. I also think it could be the dummy battery is going bad, maybe, which is causing the problem. Okay, my camera's on. Come on. Get me back. Bring me back. Bring me back. Bring me back. Hold on, guys. My camera's working. Oh, Lordy. Let me see here. Let's get back. All right. I don't know. Here's what I did. I'm not sure what's going on. So clearly it's not the Elgato device like I thought. It's something else. So here's the deal. What I just did, by the way, is I turned the camera off and then turned it back on, but it wasn't registering in EV Mux. So I just I hit the reload for the website. And so EVMux is like StreamYard where it's browser based. So it didn't turn the stream off, which is fantastic. So by doing that, then EVMux recognized the camera feed again. So I got to troubleshoot that, guys. Sorry about that. Let's see. That was about 30 some minutes in. I don't know. I'm not sure what's going on with it. I guess I got to figure that out. So here we go. So back to the story time, right? So I'm in there. I get in the account and this isn't in the middle of the night at this point. And I'm like, I got to figure this out. I got to figure out how they're getting in. So I start to like navigate, go throughout stuff, figure stuff out. And I see connected accounts. It had a Meta account. So a Meta account you can create with the virtual reality things, Meta, that stuff. It's basically like having the master key to your account. So this was basically a backdoor where they were able, every time I changed the password, all they had to do was go to their Meta account and it let them into my Facebook. So just a really bad loophole, unfortunately. And so the problem with that is I can't log into this Meta account. So I'm on Reddit forums. I'm reading about this. People are talking about it. It's sort of like there's layers of being hacked. If they don't change your email, then it's the easiest form of you getting your account back. All you do is change your password and you're good, whatever. If they change your email, it's a pain in the butt. But as I just explained, you can get back in there. If they've connected other accounts to you and they've turned on two-factor authentication on that account, that Meta account, you're kind of screwed. And that's what's happened. So basically, even though I had two-factor authentication turned on for my Facebook, they had this Meta account. They have attached the Meta account to my Facebook, which gives them the master key. So even though they forgot a password or they don't have a password, all they got to do is go to the Meta account. It lets them back in the Facebook account. And so they were doing that, going in, changing the email, changing the password. And so I kind of got to the point where I was like, there's no point in me continuing to get back into my account because they just keep getting, it's just silly at this point. It's turning into a vicious cycle. And enough time had passed where they were able to completely disconnect those email addresses that I was able to basically add to the account. And they wiped it all out. So none of those email addresses work anymore for me to access the account anymore. So I realized this situation has happened where they've got this Meta account with two-factor authentication. Now, I also read in the Reddit forum, somebody said, get back into Facebook, get back in. If you can still get back in, get into your account, be logged into your account, go to meta.com and say log in with Facebook. And if you're logged in on that device and you go to log into Meta, it'll log you into Meta just like that because they're basically one and the same. Well, they had turned on two-factor authentication. So basically it's saying, yeah, no problem, we'll log you in. And it showed me the email and it's like, well, we just sent you two-factor authenticator to your authenticator app, enter the code. And I'm like, dang. So this is basically worst case scenario of hacking. It really is. Now, then I start reading that some people, what they did is if they still had access to their Instagram account, they did the whole silly blue check mark Meta verified. So you pay, I think it's $14.99 a month for the basic plan. It gets you support. It actually lets you go in, you can click on get support, you get into a live chat, and basically you are onboarded. What I've recognized at this point is the person who you initially talk to is not going to fix the problem. They are actually gathering information. So they ask a bunch of questions. They say, do you have any screenshots that you can upload? Which thank God I had taken a lot of screenshots of some of the things I was seeing, the email, the Meta account that was attached to it, et cetera, et cetera. And so I did. I'm providing all the information I can. I told him when I got hacked, I provided my original email. I said the original email on the account was blah, 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 Hotmail. And I said, they changed the email. So then I just told him the whole story. And then I gave him the other emails I was using. And so I gave them all this information. They asked me, okay, what's the link to the account? So I'm like, okay, facebook.com/MSIMON64, blah, blah, blah. So they're like, okay, thank you. So they basically, the first person you talk to is really just gathering information because then they say, okay, we're going to pass this over to, our team or whatever. And we'll be in touch within, 3 to 7 days, I think was the first time. And they're like, "Is there anything else I can help you with?" And I'm like, "Yes." And as I'm typing, then the chat, they leave the chat and it goes into, it's under review. And I'm like, "Well, why'd you even ask? Why'd you even ask if I need help with anything else?" So, I did all this and I'm like, "Okay, there's hope. This has to be fixed. There's like, how could this not be fixed?" I just gave them all the information. All they have to do is go in and look and see, one, that somebody in China changed the email address, and then back and forth, all these times, password, forgot password, forgot password. Like, they can see that there's weird activity going on to the account. First of all, they should have bots that detect this and basically freeze the account. My friends, meanwhile, are all at this point within 24 hours. It was like 24 hours later, maybe 2 days later, the first crypto post goes up. And it's basically a picture of a certificate with my name. And it's me saying, "Oh, I'm so excited after 24 months or whatever. I'm certified, whatever." And people are like, "Oh, awesome." I'm like, "Oh, don't fall for this, you guys." So my friends are reporting the post. They're all reporting, but there is nowhere to there's no option that says this person's account has been hacked. There's an option that says this account is acting as if they are somebody else, but that's not what this is. They have hacked my account. They didn't just create a duplicate account, they hacked it. So I took screenshots and I added them to the case. And every time I did that, it basically would say, your thing is still under review, whatever, we'll be in touch. So I'm like checking this thing pretty regularly, and it just continues to say it's under review. Then about 7 days later, because it said 3 to 7 days, I think it was the 7th day. That morning, I woke up, I got up, and I opened it up, and by the way, there's no notifications. So this support that you pay for, you don't get like a notification that says, "Hey, you have a new message." Nothing. You literally have to click like 3-4 layers deep into your account settings, get into your open tickets, and then I open it up and it says action required. I'm like, "Oh." So I go in, I click on this case, and someone had said, "Please provide the original email before your account was hacked," which I had already provided. So I'm like, "Okay, it's blah, blah, blah at hotmail.com." And basically they left the chat because I wasn't there right away when they first posted because I didn't get a notification. So then a little bit of time goes by, same thing. I look at it again. I'm like, "Ooh, another response." They're like, that's not the email." And I'm like, "Yes, it is." So then they're asking me for the email on the account. And I'm like, "I can't provide that to you because they hacked the account. They changed the email." Well, they're like, "Okay, we need to send this to our team for review." And I'm just like, "Oh my God." So goes on and on. Well, then they come back and they say, since you can't provide the email to the account, we're unable to help you. We realize this might be frustrating." And I'm like, "Frustrating? Is that a word you want to use?" Well, so I go in to try to respond and I accidentally clicked on close the case. And I'm like, "You gotta be kidding me. Why is my camera doing this?" Oh my God. I don't know if it's the cable. I think it's the dummy battery. I think the dummy battery is going bad. Okay, hold on, guys. I'll be there. I'll be right here. I'll be right there. I gotta go through this stupid little process. This is frustrating because I'm storytelling. What does the camera say? It doesn't really say anything. I don't know what's going on. It's not overheating. Hold on. Absolutely ridiculous. Oh, that's hilarious. One of my friends he says, "When is this insanity going to stop? Can Facebook do anything?" So my friends keep screenshotting some of the stuff to me. Okay, so I'm going to close the loop on this and let you know where we stand with this. So here's the deal. That case, I accidentally closed it because I'm an idiot, getting clicky. So I opened a new case. I went in, I opened a case. I said, "Please reopen case number, blah, 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 blah." And I said, "I accidentally closed the case, yada, yada." Luckily, they were like, "Oh, we understand." And I said, "Can we reopen that case?" They said, "No, we just need to have this case open, but we have access to all that information." I was like, "Okay, perfect, good." So they basically asked me the same information again. They said, can you provide, they gave me like 4 things to provide. And I'm like, I can't provide the current email because they changed the damn email. Like, is anybody reading this stuff? So I provide everything I could. And then they do the same thing. They're like, oh, we'll be in touch within 1 to 2 days. We've escalated your case. I was like, great, thank you. Well, it was 7 damn days later that they finally responded. And it was the same thing. They were like, we can't do anything because you can't provide the email address on the account. And I am literally like, they're like, you could try to go to facebook.com/hacked. And I am like, this is ridiculous. So they basically were like, we can't help you. We're so sorry. So they closed the case. And I'm like, so deflated at this point. I feel defeated. I'm frustrated, but I'm also just like, I'm not going to give up, but I cannot deal with this. It's taking so much energy and it's like the holidays were happening, and I'm just like, I don't want to I just don't want to deal with it. So I gave it a few days. And the other day I opened a new case and I basically said, here's the deal. Like, this is unacceptable and you should be able to figure this out. And the person came on and I said, I referenced the other 2 cases and they came in, gathered. I said, they basically asked me for the same information. I said, I really need this to be handled differently. I actually selected my account was hacked this time, whereas the other times I was selecting something else because I didn't want them to think I was talking about my Instagram account. So anyway, long story short, to close it out. And again, I'm sharing this so that you guys can know this can happen. And if it does, I'm going to keep you in the loop on it. But basically, I have an open case currently. They said, can you please, this time they asked me to send them screenshots of what I see when I try to go into the account. So I was able to show, like, I'm still able to, when I go to my Facebook icon on my phone, it still has my account. Like, it shows your profile picture. So I'm like, that clearly shows you I've been logged in on this device. Again, the Facebook process is ridiculous. It's a mess. I actually talked to somebody who actually has a contact at Facebook, and that person at Facebook literally said, we don't know how to handle this. Basically they built this big freaking thing and now they don't know how to handle it. I mean, literally they admitted it. So it's a problem. So again, turn on 2-factor authentication. That's the moral of the story here today. So the other thing, so I have this new case. They said, send us screenshots. So I send screenshots. Well, I didn't send a screenshot. I did a screen recording. I recorded the video of me trying to get into the account, showing everything. And then I recorded a video of myself. I said, you can clearly see that this is me. I said, I need a human to go look at my case. I need a human being to go in, look at the history of this account, see that on November 12th, the password was changed, the emails was changed, blah, blah, blah. They attached a Meta account, yada, yada, yada. Like, I'm like, please look at the case. Look at my face. I am talking to you. You can tell if you look at my profile, this is me speaking to you, not AI, not somebody spamming Facebook or scamming Facebook. And I'm like, this should be proof that this is me. I just want Facebook. I want you to go in. I want you to dismantle everything. I want you to disconnect all accounts. And I want you to give me access to my account again. Like, please, like, I was like, this should be validation. And if a human being goes and looks at this, they should be able to see what's happened. And the lady responds, she's like, thank you for the screen recording, blah, blah, blah. And then she basically said, I'm passing it on to the team. So it's under review. So that's where we are. So my Facebook account's hacked. Yours could get hacked too. There's all kinds of different scams going on out there. I just happen to be lucky enough to get the kind of people that know what the hell they're doing, where they were able to basically just dismantle all the opportunities for me to get back into my account. So that's where we stand. That's where it is. The whole point of this is please, please, please. Yeah, exactly. James is saying it makes you wonder why you get Meta verified. They need to get that crap together. It's true. It's a problem. And I will tell you, it's at $14.99 a month. That's not cheap. And the fact that there is no support unless you pay for it, and that this is what I'm getting, I will tell you, I'm not giving up. It's worth it to me to pay $14.99 a month if I have to do it for a year. I actually had someone DM me and they said, don't give up. My friend's aunt just got her account back after a year, because I think people just give up for a while and then they try again or whatever. I don't know. I'm not going to give up. It's too important to me. My Facebook account it's like my scrapbook. I mean, but I will say it's been nice to have a break from Facebook. I will say that, especially going through a breakup, because social media can be just mean. It can, the memories and stuff that shows up. So anyway, I've been on Instagram more. and that's been my connection point. But I do miss connecting with people on Facebook. And I know that lots of people are sending me DMs, and I miss being in some of the Facebook groups that I'm in. And I miss all that. So I'm not going to give up. I'm going to keep trying. But I'm on Instagram. So Melanie Diane is my handle on Instagram, and I'm doing more stories, and I'm actually enjoying that this has pushed me to use Instagram, because I've kind of just like, I don't want to have to manage all these different social media accounts, but I'm actually having a little bit of fun with it. I've been doing some stories, and I don't know. I guess a lot of people have DM'd me and said, maybe this whole thing was supposed to happen for you to find your voice again. And that's like, wow. I mean, even the breakup, maybe this is so that you can find your voice again. And I feel that way. So with that being said, I also just want to make sure that everybody knows I did relaunch my podcast. So my podcast is live again. It's called Creating Courage with Melanie Diane Howe. And if I was better at planning this live stream, I would have had an overlay for that, but I didn't. But it's called Creating Courage with Melanie Diane Howe. If you were already following my original podcast, DIY Marketing School with Melanie Diane Howe, then it's the same thing. It's just a new name and a new cover art photo. But I think I've done 5 episodes since relaunching the podcast. So, or maybe 6 episodes since relaunching the podcast. So would love for you to tune in. I plan to release maybe a couple episodes a month for now. I feel like that's what I can do. And I am, back. I'm going to get back online here and be streaming. But again, I'm over on Facebook or on Instagram. But yeah, I had to get my sea legs back a little bit today. We had a little bit of a clunky start to the stream. Again, just trying to learn EV Mux, but I appreciate all of you guys and hanging in there with me, right? And I like what Jennifer's doing. She's being funny with my name. You will find your voice, and we will help you however we need to. Thank you. I appreciate that. And Lawrence, it was good to see you. I've missed you guys as well. So again, we are going to, I'm going to end this one because we're at an hour, and I think my camera's probably going to go black again, and that's annoying. So I just want to say thank you again. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for following along. Story time with Mel about the hacking debacle. So I'll keep you posted. But yeah, go find me on Instagram, and let's hang out over there. So, all right, everybody, have a good day. Have a great weekend. Turn on 2-factor authentication right now, everywhere, for your whole life, everywhere. Do it. All right. Love you guys. Bye. Oh, change your passwords. Just go update your passwords too. Don't use old passwords. I actually think that's how they got access to my email. But just go turn all that stuff on, change it, do it, please. Love you guys. See you later. Bye.